Let us begin with our usual prayer. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham sravanamangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. This Tuesday, this class, I always enjoy. When I am reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and I know that I have to come and explain and all, but I have read it many times, but again, it gives me more and more different type of meaning. In the beginning, when I read, I just read it. Some of the stories particularly it retained in my mind. Then afterwards, I understood the true meaning of those stories. He was explaining a very difficult philosophical question through that story. Here also we find in our last class we discussed about when the Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna used to cut jokes with him because he was little flabby, and he used to say Mota Vaman. In the Bengali, Mota means is a heavy build. So the Vaman means that a Vamana, in a caste is not a small one. The same word, so many meanings, So now Brahman actually. So this person, this Krishna, he asked, what is the anahata sound? We discussed that in one of our classes. It's a very important question because the anahata sound is so important. When some people come and say, when we meditate, we listen to the anahata sound, we don't answer. Of course, it's good, it may be. But the moment you listen to that sound, you are actually so close, so near to the realization of Brahman. That anahata is Omkara. And when you are hearing that Omkara, obviously you are very close to that particular knowledge. Can you imagine those who are having that type of knowledge, how their behavior will be? So when they say, we keep quiet, but we know there is something not tallying with the scripture. They may be hearing something, but is it? Why? Because that question again comes and Sri Ramakrishna is giving that answer. Obviously, the second question of the Krishna was, what is the nature of the life after death? So we are all curious what will happen after death. How Sri Ramakrishna is answering. That also we discussed in our last class. And here, in the Vedanta they say, who is a very good student of Vedanta, who can be the student of Vedanta? Uha, apoha, bichakshana. Is a very good in debating. Because you have to, Vedanta means knowledge. So naturally, the moment you are giving a theory, then other one is giving antithesis. And that way it goes debating. One must be very, very intelligent to understand the question and give the answer according to the situation. Krishna, he used to practice, the most of us apparently you go on jnana, jnana, jnana. One young boy has written to me from India that my mother taught me bhakti, but I think my tenacity is towards jnana. And that I learned that path of knowledge from you. I am in Chicago and he is in India, and we have to learn the path of knowledge. I told, why don't you go to the Swamis who are so close by in India, so many ashramas are there, and moreover, you are a student, why don't you put your mind in the study first? Complete the study then. But I think he's angry. He's writing, thank you, 2-3 times. So many thanks means he's angry. So now the thing is, we are all thinking that we will become Jnani. And the moment you talk about, some of the people will be talking about the jnana, of course, you should be very good exponent. I mean, the way that expression should come, that is very important. So that is the way if you are thinking. But Sri Ramakrishna is very practical. And that is the reason I really like him. Very, very practical. Theory is one thing, but practice and realization is completely other thing. So he is giving again and again the stress on the realization. When the Ramakrishna asked the nature of life after death, he didn't say anything. But he immediately told, giving an example, that we have already read the baked and unbaked earthen pots. You remember that. The moment you are unbaked, if you are broken, then the potter will once again use it. That means you have not realized God, the desire is there, you have to take birth. Indirectly, very clearly, he is accepting and giving the indication there is life after death. There is life after death. But again, immediately he is telling for whom? Who has the desire? But one who has born those desires, then he is a baked earthen pot. And the thing happened to that baked one, realized one, but he is not taking any other shape. He is gone forever. And that is called mukti. That is called liberation. Taking the body means again and again the suffering, little bit of joy, little bit of suffering and anxiety, then again it goes on and on. Recently the Mother's Day, all over the world people celebrated, and a news came, a group of mothers, elderly mothers, they told when the reporters went to take the interview, how are you? Enjoying? Their children, they're all far away here and there, never care for them. And they are telling, we think we should not have become the mother. Now the son is there but not caring for us, that is more painful. And suppose we were not mothers at all, this problem was over. So these things are there. To become a mother also, people are, oh, I should become a mother or a father, affection, love, good. But after that again, this type of problem may come, God forbid, but it may come. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna is telling, life is there after death, but one should be very, very careful that this human body, this human birth is very precious. God realization is possible only in this life, only is the human birth, in the human body. Don't waste it. So he went on telling. Then we find that he mentioned about the views of Vedanta. So the Sri Ramakrishna is a perfect master. When he is giving the answer, he is not halfway. If you are thinking in this way, so this is the answer. But for the Vedantin, for them, everything is nothing but Brahman. So there is no other thing than Brahman. But why we find the differences, why we think that we are separate than the Brahman, the God, the consciousness? Because we have the ego. In one sentences, a very profound philosophy is that he is giving over here. Because of your ego only you are finding that the Brahman is divided. And he is giving an example again. and very simple. It is like a stick floating on water. Apparently, there are two different blocks of water, the different waters. No, it's the same water. Only the stick is floating, so you find two. It is only one. So that is called Vedanta. And in the Vedantic way, if you can look at, no problem. Everything is solved then. So the life after death, and all those things are solved if we can understand. Then he mentioned about the Shankaracharya. Through Shankaracharya, just he mentioned one name, but all the incarnations, messengers of God, he mentioned only by one name, Shankaracharya, because he was a Jnani. And the Jnani, Shankaracharya, is already liberated. Then why he was behaving like the ordinary people? He was going and arguing with others, establishing his own philosophy, visiting the whole nook and corner of India, and then organizing the monastics. Why? It was not necessary. If he is a Jnani, then this world is illusion for him. And when there is no world at all, then why then he is so much careful about establishing the mott, the monastic order, and all those things, and going and arguing and establishing the Vedanta? Once again he is popularizing the Upanishads, and he is going on writing the commentaries on those Upanishads. What was necessary? If this world is illusory, then why? One person I was telling, why don't you study the Upanishads? No, I have understood. This world is illusory, it is not necessary. The world is illusory, is okay. But as long as you are living, read that. What is the problem? Otherwise, something you are doing, you are not sitting, closing your eyes all the time. Read something. So this is, Shankara is living, Shankaracharya is living for us. His life is for the masses. Sri Ramakrishna is giving that hint that he lived. Why? Because of that. One should know the distinction of man of knowledge. In page 147 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, 447, in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning about it. Indications. What are the indications? Now he is telling, there are signs that distinguish the man of knowledge. That is exactly what, when the people say that I am already having that meditation, deep meditation, and I have experienced samadhi 2-3 times, we only listen and we do not comment. Because we know you need not to say that. Your behavior, your life, that will say. That will speak about that. And here, there are signs that distinguish the man of knowledge. Some people think they have knowledge, Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. What are the characteristics of knowledge? A Jnani cannot injure anybody. I repeat, a Jnani cannot injure anybody. Why? He sees the same Atman in everything. How can he go and injure? Those who know the life of Shankaracharya, they know the Shankara. When a person came and told, say, I am almost at the finishing stage of my spiritual practice, and I am a tantric. And when I give the sacrifice at the feet of the goddess Kali, I get that knowledge. Only last one, I want someone who is perfect. Actually, he was jealous of Shankaracharya. You know, jealousy is common. And he was thinking, by that way I will go and tell, you don't believe in this life or all that, why don't you come and offer your life, I will sacrifice you at the feet of the mother, then I will get the knowledge. That immediately Shankaracharya, do you believe in that? Okay, no problem. Tell me where to come, I will come. But I have to go secretly. Otherwise my disciples won't allow me to go. So Shankara was ready. Look at it. For him, this life and other life, nothing, or maybe that he was knowing what is going to happen. So he went over there. But one of his disciples, he was meditating in that meditation. He found that his guru is going to sacrifice, and that is the whole thing. Immediately, a power entered into him, and he became the Narasimha and came and saved Shankara from there, terrifying that person. It happened in Assam, and Shankara was there, Shankaracharya. But look at the Shankaracharya, for him it is nothing. So he is telling the Jnani will never hurt anyone. He is always ready to help others. And he is telling, he becomes like a child. If a steel shore touches the philosopher's stone, it is transformed into gold. They say the philosopher's stone touching the iron, it transforms into gold. Gold can never cut. It may seem from the distance that a Jnani also has anger, egotism, but in reality he has no such thing. No anger. The one person, and he was telling, in Calcutta, the Sri Ramakrishna used to go to different houses, and he used to go and to tell them, because all educated people, well-off people, Sri Ramakrishna used to visit to those houses, those people, so that if they get that idea, at least to some extent, they will change their the thought, and maybe they will be helpful for thousands of poor people. He used to go to some house, and the gentleman who was there, he passed away. Afterwards, one day he went over there, his sons were not liking Sri Ramakrishna. So when he went, okay, sit over there in a corner, they asked him to sit without giving any respect. Then many other people also gathered for some reason. So they were helping them and them talking with them, ignoring Sri Ramakrishna. One of his disciples, that Rakhal Maharaj, afterwards Swami Brahmananda, he was with him. And he told, sir, let us go back. They are insulting us. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, wait, now it is already the night, and when we return back to Dakshineshwar, there will be no food for us. So at least we should get some food and then only we will go. He was waiting. And food? Afterwards, they themselves didn't serve. This sent from some, the servant, the maid servant, she came, they gave the food. Sri Ramakrishna just touched it. Why? He was never angry. His disciple was angry. But Sri Ramakrishna was not angry. He only touched it and took the food. It was okay. To bless them. So that is the Jnani. And you know that those who have read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, in so many occasions, Girish Chandra Ghosh insulting him before everyone. Sri Ramakrishna is telling others, look at that, this man is using so abusive language, and others are fighting with Girish. Sri Ramakrishna told, no, it's okay. In the deep heart, he has a great love and affection for me. That's why he is doing like that. He has 100% faith, more than 100%. So this way, a Jnani, we can see in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and here Sri Ramakrishna is going on telling that a child has no attachment. After the knowledge, the man of knowledge becomes just like a child, has no attachment. These are the characteristics of a Jnani. Perhaps he has many luxuries at home. The couch, the chairs, the paintings. But any day he may leave all these and go off to Benares. Benares means leaving everything. No attachment. When he is living in the great style. But when the moment he wants, he can just leave it without hesitation. So we have to remember those people who are claiming these, We have to see whether they are having these qualities or not. In the Bhagavad Gita we know, in the Arjuna is also asking this question. But it's very difficult to understand who is a Jnani, a man of knowledge, or who is not. So in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, in sloka 54, Arjuna is asking, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha? To Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he is asking, with the bhasha. Then samadhistasya keshava, he is using 2 words. Sthita pragya, pragya means knowledge, sthita means established. Sometimes the flash of knowledge comes, but then it goes away also. Not like that. He is well established in that particular knowledge, the realization. And samadhista, sometimes, someday, one may go into that deep samadhi, again come back. Then the effect of that samadhi is not there, not like that. He is established into that samadhi. So he is using 2 words, Sthita prajna and samadhistasya ka bhasha. What are the characteristics? How I will know? Then description of those people, and Krishna gave in 5 slokas, total 10 lines. 2 lines in 1 sloka, just 10. First he said, when all desires have been abandoned, and find joy in the self alone. This is the first characteristics. There is no desire at all. But when he goes to see and just go like a child, he just see that much. Sometimes to learn, sometimes to understand. That's all. Sri Ramakrishna is going to see the Jew and the museum and to operas and all these things, different places he is visiting. Why? Anything he is curious. I will go and see what is happening, but no attachment at all. Wherever he goes, he only sees God, the manifestation of God. So please read the biography, the life of Sri Ramakrishna. The one good book in English is by published by the Advaita Ashram, and the introduction written by Mahatma Gandhi. That is a very good book. And another, of course, the great master, but very elaboration. Maybe first you should read this book. And so interesting. And then, of course, the gospel, slowly, slowly. In the first reading, you won't understand. And the more and the more and the more you are going on reading, you will find, under the very simple language, the depth of spirituality revealed over there. Whatever you find over here in the Bhagavad Gita is one of the Prasthanastraya. And in the life and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, that collaborates. And here, when all desires have been abandoned, and find joy in self alone. Sri Ramakrishna is talking with the devotees and singing, dancing, and then making the program. We will go over there, we will do this. Master Mahashaya, the person who was there and recording his the conversations, after meeting Sri Ramakrishna, he was going back. Suddenly he remembered something, came back. Then he saw Sri Ramakrishna all alone, pacing up and down in the Nath Mandira. That is the cultural area that is always attached with any traditional temple. And he is pacing up and down. Master Mahashaya commented, just like a lion. He is pacing. And within himself, Atmani eva Atmana tushta. Atmani eva Atmana tushta. In the Bhagavad Gita, that language has been used. And he has gone in the depth of that. Atmani eva. Find joy in self alone, not depending on anything. And self alone. Whose mind is not agitated in adversity and free from attachment, fear, anger. whose mind is not agitated in adversity. The adversity, why, what happened? There's something good, we are always good. But something, a little, then immediately we flare up. A little, one language only, a word has been used. But immediately all respect has gone, love has gone, connection has gone. Immediately, where from it happened? Ego, tremendous ego. This person has loved me and we have very good relation for such a long time. Now that he is telling it, maybe there is some reason. Why not wait? Why not see? Why not ask? Immediate reaction. And cannot forget it. Do you think they're religious people? But they'll be reading books. They'll be quoting from there. They'll be sharing different messages, each and other. But they do not know. Not a single step has been taken in front. Either they're standing still in one place or going backward in the spiritual life. So that is the reason reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna very methodically, and it's not just reading, it is swadhyaya. In the Sanskrit word swadhyaya means with great respect, that I should learn something from these pages. I should learn something whose mind is not agitated in adversity. Think of the position of Swami Vivekananda, a young man without knowing anyone, without any support, came over here in America, completely unknown society, unknown country. There was no one, not a single soul he knew in this country. But he came, why? Just to make India rise up once again. That was the only intention, and there was nothing. He came, he was going on speaking about that very old tradition and culture and religion and philosophy of India alone, and what the Indians did. Some of them, of course, they went on writing the bad language, the letters, and they used to keep always the information where he is living, what is the address of that person, that they used to keep all information. Because Swami Vivekananda became very famous. Everything is to be published in the newspaper, local newspaper. They used to keep that information and writing to that particular person and criticizing Swami Vivekananda, denouncing him. There was nothing, no adversity in Swamiji. When some of the friends, they told, why don't you give the reply to them? Then Swamiji smiled and said, either you should appreciate me or you should criticize me. You cannot ignore me. So that way he was adversity. Someone he was trying to help others. If they say, those people are telling something wrong, just think, put yourself in that position and think, what would be the reaction? Let them die. I am not going to do anything. No. He was a sannyasi, never bothered about anything. But why then he was doggedly going on trying? Because he loved it, and he was a Jnani. Sri Ramakrishna told he is Jnani. And in the third, the Sri Krishna is telling, who do not rejoices favorable situation and hates not in unfavorable. So favorable and unfavorable. Of course, we always pray to God, let everything be favorable. But when the unfavorable situation comes, one should be calm and composed. Not apparently, but inside also. It is okay, no problem. It's all right. So that way we can do it. It is always possible. So those are the symbols. Those who think that we are hearing the Omkara or we have realized the Brahman, no problem, good. But at the same time, you have to check all these things that have already been said by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, and also by all those who have realized this. In the fourth, he said, when at will he can withdraw his senses from the objects. So, Jnani, what are the characteristics? These are the characteristics. Any moment he can withdraw the senses. Ma Sharada Muni Devi, apparently, he was so much attached with those people in the family. And she used to love so much. There was a small little kid, and she used to love him so much. When the kid is just quarreling, mother will be playing with the kid. People used to think that she must be attached with that child. And when the time came, mother wanted to go back, leaving her body in this world, then she was withdrawing her mind. Sharadanandaji. Now who will naturally allow mother to leave us? So Sharadanandaji tried his last. He told, send that little baby to mother. Put him there, just close to mother. Mother's mind may calm down. When they tried that, mother looked at the baby, pushed that baby little aside and tell those people, tell Sharad, no more. I have withdrawn my mind. I have withdrawn my mind. So that is they have taken completely detachment. So the attachment that we used to see, people used to find all apparent. So withdrawing that mind, when at will, the moment they want, they can do it. It's not that I'm trying the effort, it's not so easy. One of our Swamiji, there's a funny story. Then he was very much afraid of injection. And he was admitted in a hospital. Naturally, the nurse in the morning came to give that injection. He told, hey, wait. Have you read the life of the Swami Turiyananda? Nurse told, sir, no, I didn't. Oh, you should read. And anyway, let me withdraw the mind first. Then I will show that you can give, then you give the injection. Let me withdraw the mind, and I will take the mind out of the body, then you can give. And the practice is going on. Nurse is waiting over there, but nurse has other duties too. And she was afraid what to do. The moment she was trying to touch, immediately, oh, no, I have not, let me withdraw. He is going on withdrawing. Then she went and reported to their superior, the superior to other doctors. It reached to that our Swami in charge over there. Then the Swami in charge, Swami Gaunanandaji, he was that time, he was in charge. He came with 2-3 other Swamis. And oh, Swami, you are trying to withdraw your mind from the body? Good, we will also help you. Hey, hold him. So, they hold him over there and ask the nurse, they will give that injection. And they are so expert, you won't feel that they are piercing. Then they give the injection, and the Swami told, now you hold it, you can practice, no problem. Continue. So this is not so easy to withdraw the mind. It's so much attached with the body. We can think about it, but it is not. And all people thinking about the jnana, what is the jnana? Forgetting your own self. Can anyone do it? There are so many people, the propounders of the knowledge. No, it is not so easy. Very, very, very difficult. Effort is nothing wrong, but it is really difficult. That's why Sri Ramakrishna is explaining. Sri Krishna is explaining why. People may, that sometimes we ourselves, through our own mind, hypnotized ourselves. I am hypnotizing myself, thinking I am a jnani. So I need not to do puja, I need not to do fasting, I need not to go to temple, I need not to do this, I am a jnani. What do you mean by jnani? What do you mean by jnani? So that, hypnotizing himself when he is living like that, many other people are there. We are jnanis, but all the time frowning, all the time angry, and ever ready to fight are the jnanis. So anyway, those who have read, sincerely they have read the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and the life of Sri Ramakrishna, if they have not realized God, at least they have understood what is true spirituality. That one thing surely they will get. So that is the main thing. A supreme truth is realized when one finds no taste in any worldly thing. No taste in any worldly thing. Then only, but they are in great joy. And that is the sign of the Jnani. Sri Ramakrishna, the same way he is explaining. According to the Vedanta, the waking state too is unreal. Vedanta means Advaita Vedanta. The Kevala Advaita of Shankaracharya and Shankaracharya's Guru's Guru, this is Gaudapada Karika, you know that the Gaudapada he wrote in that way. He realized and he explained in that way, few people only. So that is called waking state. Now the living, we are living, that is also nothing like unreal. And only very few people can realize that. Even we cannot imagine that. Is it possible? I am living, I am eating, and the moment someone is coming and pinching and I get the pain, everything is there and I say it is unreal. But for those people, it is completely unreal. Ramana Maharshi, in a very recent time, he showed that in his own life. When just awake, he is lying down, hundreds of ants are coming and biting, no feeling at all. But physical reactions are there. So doctor has to come and to save and then treating, in his mind no feeling at all. So that is the thing, a Jnani is no. Why have you disturbed my sleep? One person is telling. So he is giving just an explanation of that. Once a woodcutter lay dreaming when someone woke him up. Greatly annoyed, he said, "Hey, why have you disturbed my sleep? I was dreaming that I was a king and the father of 7 children. The princes were becoming well versed in letters and military arts. I was secure on my throne and ruled over my subjects. Why have you demolished my world of joy?" In the sleep also, if we are seeing like that, when it breaks, then we really enjoy. In the dream we have seen that we are happy, and in the waking stage also that comes to, yeah, we were happy. And something wrong, then we are afraid. And if that dream happens in the early morning, most of the Hindus, they consider that early morning dreams are coming to be true. In the dead night, okay. But in the early morning dream is going to be the true. That is dream also. That the same dream in the waking stage also for a Jnani, dream only. So that is saying, Prana Krishna, now why Sri Ramakrishna is giving so much of narration about the Jnana? Master Moshe understood it. So he is commenting. He is writing, Prana Krishna, that person who was asking about all this, always talked about Jnana. Many of the people, they talk about like that. So I am the follower of Jnana. Then he is thinking about the share market and all, but he is a Jnani. Is very eager to sell out some of his papers, shares, because he is calculating it's breaking or the crashing. All those things are going on. At the same time, he will declare, I am a Jnani, you know, Swami, I came, I read that. I read this, I read that. And some of the books are there. So it is nothing if you just go on browsing and then they think like that. Prana Krishna was something like this. Sri Ramakrishna understood. But Sri Ramakrishna is a great teacher. He wanted to help people only so that they grow, they make progress in spiritual life. That is the important thing. If you don't say anything, people will say, he's a nice man, very good person. But if you go and tell, this is the truth, try to follow, many people are there, who won't be able to appreciate it. That is the thing. When some people, they come, the volunteers come, I always say, you are spending your money, you are spending your time for what? Ask yourself. Only to be employed over here, spending some time? Then I have nothing to say. But if you are coming to develop your spiritual life, be careful. What type of conversation you are having over here? What type of group discussions are going on? We must be very, very careful. Otherwise, it is of no use. So that is the reason when one is going to a temple or a holy place, one should always think that I have come to a holy place and my purpose is to develop my spiritual life. And whatever I am doing, only that purpose, to develop my spiritual life. Some of the volunteers, they told, "Now, we don't give any donation." And why? Because we are volunteers. Immediately I told them, no, you are not volunteers. You are giving your service, in exchange you are receiving these other things, the hospitality of the ashrama. Free, you are living and food and this, that. Instead, you are doing some cleaning work and no. If you cannot pay, well, that is okay. But if you are able to pay, you must pay. Then come, then give your service. That service will be counted as a voluntary service. And that will give you the development in the spiritual life. Small thing, a little discrimination. But some people, they will, oh, we are happy. Why? I need not to pay over there. No, this is wrong thing. One gentleman went to a holy place, and one monk was sitting over there. He asked for some money. This gentleman is a rich man. He told, okay, tomorrow I will give. This moment I am not having money, tomorrow I will give that money. Then he stopped over there. Sri Ramakrishna was listening to how he behaved. Then he said, then what you did? That very night I had the train, I have come back. I never met that monk. I didn't give that money. Sri Ramakrishna was taken aback. But you gave the word that you will give some money. And you didn't do that. No, you don't know. These people, if I give the money, they will go and use that money for wrong purposes. Maybe they will purchase some narcotics and all. How do you know? Sri Ramakrishna told, you were also enjoying. You are also drinking wine. And you were enjoying all your life. Suppose that man is going to have that, puffing the ganja for 1 or 2, okay. How much money he wanted? A little money. And you promised that you will give. This is not good. All that you went over there and spent your days and prayed to God into that holy place, the famous pilgrimage center, Kashi, everything is lost because of this. So one must be careful, that we are the devotees. We are trying to be holy. We are not holy. We are trying to acquire knowledge. We are trying to develop our spiritual life. So one must be very, very careful about all the small things. And they say you should act according to the scriptural junctions, the scriptural advices. What are the scriptural advices? These are the scriptural advices. If you feel that I am not a Jnani, then the prayer. If you feel that path of knowledge is good for you, you should try to bear all these things and develop that type of mentality. Supreme truth is realized when one finds no taste in any worldly thing. These are the characteristics of a Jnani. And Ramakrishna always talked about Jnana. Was this why the Master described the state of Jnani? Master Mahashaya commenting. Now he proceeded to describe the big Jnani, another step ahead of Jnana. Big Jnani. This is one of our Swamiji wrote a beautiful article over this Big Jnani. Jnana and Big Jnana. Swami Vivekananda, when he used to come and visit and then slowly accepting Sri Ramakrishna, then the Sri Ramakrishna, his guru, asked, "Hey, what do you want?" Then he was a young boy of 18, 19 years. He told, "I like to sit like a Shukadeva and constantly going into the deep meditation, sometimes coming up, eating something to save this body, once again going back to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi." And he thought Guru will be very happy. Instead, is a unique Guru. Immediately scolded him, "Oh, this is a low state. Why you are thinking about it? I was expecting that you will be like a banyan tree. Under your shade, so many souls will come and they will get the peace. You are thinking only about yourself. Selfish." So he rebuked him, scolded him. What is that? Big Jnani state. Jnani state, I know this. That all. But Big Jnani, living that life, that's called Big Jnana state. The ones, I have not read that particular statement of Aurobindo Ghosh, Rishi Aurobindo. He commented, what is Hinduism? It's a way of life, he said. Majority of the people misinterpret that. Way of life means living after realization. That is the way of life. It's not only some of the theories. We read those theories, we practice those theories, we realize those theories, and then whole life we are living according to those. So that is called Hinduism is a way of life. Hinduism says to love everyone, and when you are hating in the name of Hinduism, that is not Hinduism. That we have to understand. Somebody is hating me, so I will also hate. That is not the way. Somebody is trying to come to hit me, I should resist. I should have that strength. But doesn't mean that constantly I should be provocated. No. Because I am supreme, I know. Some of the young children, young people, they are behaving in a different way. Shall I have to behave like that? They are using filthy languages. Shall I have to use those filthy languages again? No. So that is the way one should practice. That Sri Ramakrishna said. Then he is telling Big Jnani state. We will just read this portion and we conclude. What is the Big Jnani state? Sri Ramakrishna is giving. But Vijnana means knowledge with a greater fullness. Vijnana means knowledge with a greater fullness. Some have heart of milk. Immediately he is giving an example. Upama is example. What is that fullness? Then he is telling. Some have heard about milk. Some have seen milk. Some have drunk that milk. Now, he who has merely heard of the word milk is an ignorant. So, just reading the Upanishad and these Vedic scriptures and then uttering those things, that is only, they call it, that the ignorance. A Brahman, Atman, this, that, some of the terminologies, they use it. That is all only that you have heard about it. That is Sri Ramakrishna said, they are all ignorant. He who has seen is a Jnani. He has seen the milk means some realization. But he who has drunk it has Vijnana. The Jnani and Vijnani. Vijnani is who has drunk it. So, seeing the knowledge, realization means up to that. But after the realization, when you are utilizing that particular knowledge in your day-to-day life, that is called Vijnana. It's a way of life. Hinduism is full of Vijnana. It's a way of life. We should not misunderstand that. Misrepresentation or interpretation. Hinduism is no religion, it is a way of life. What do you mean by way of life? Hinduism is an ism that takes you away, more fuller, bigger, broader, where you see no difference and you live that life. That is called Vijnana. Then, that is to say a fuller knowledge of it. After having the vision of God, one talks to Him as if He were an intimate relative. That is called Vijnana. First, you must discriminate. First, Ramakrishna, you must discriminate. Following the method neti neti. Not this, not this. He is not the body, he is not the mind, is okay. You want to climb to the roof? Now he is giving again the example. You want to climb to the roof? Then you must leave behind all the steps one by one. The steps are by no means the roof. But after reaching the roof, you find that the steps are made of the same materials, brick, lime, brick dust as the roof. In the country and many of the places, of course, I have seen here also in this country, the roof is like that. So those are the material they have used to make the roof. Same material has been used to make the steps also. It is the Supreme Brahman that has become the universe and is living being and the 24 cosmic principle, that which is Atman has become the 5 elements. He used the 2 words, the Brahman and Atman, both are same. The Atman has become 5 elements. This Shiti, Apa, Teja, Marut and Boma. This earth, the air, the fire, the water and the ether. These are the 5 elements. Where from these 5 elements came? From the Atman, from the Brahman, from that God. You may ask why the earth is so hard, then he is giving the example. After attaining Vijnana, one can live in the world as well. Then one clearly realizes that God Himself has become the universe and all living beings, that He is not outside the world. So that is called Vijnana. Friends, that is the goal. God realization should be the goal of every human being. Sri Ramakrishna said, Manushya Jivane Laksha Ishar Lav. The goal is only to realize God. What type of realization? Sri Ramakrishna wants that each and all of us should realize this way, Vijnani. Not only for ourselves, but at the same time the life should be completely in a full state. I know God, I understand God, I feel God, and I behave accordingly. That is the ultimate stage. And what I will get? The joy eternal. The joy eternal. There is no doubt of it. And that is the ultimate goal. Thank you very much for coming this evening. Let us conclude as usual by offering our respect to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. This weekend will be the retreat. The Swami will come on Thursday, and Friday we'll go to the Ganges. Next month it will continue. Now the summertime has come. Every month there will be the retreat on different topics. But September will be the grand program again. The 4 Swamis are coming, and we'll be celebrating the Vedanta in America. 125th year before that, Swami Vivekananda came and he brought the Vedanta. And Vedanta is this. That teaches us how one should live. Live for yourself, live for others. And that we are going to celebrate, and the Vedanta in America in September. I think 28, 29 will be in Ganges. 30th there will be the fall banquet. And fall banquet will be the interreligious the program. Thank you very much.